Welcome to the NECC Experience.
Welcome to the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. This podcast is an extension of Never Alone Christian Center and has been specifically designed to make faith transparent and relevant to everyday life. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Pastor K here, and welcome to the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. I certainly hope that you guys have had a great week and hope your week is wrapping up if you have the weekends off. And I pray that everything has been well with your family and that you have still been doing everything you need to do to protect yourself from the COVID. And not only that, getting used to trying to get back to being normal and trying to get back to living a life that was prior to COVID. I hope if it's your heart's desire, you're taking the opportunity to investigate or look into getting the vaccine. I personally have gotten my first shot, and I have my next one coming up actually next week, and I'm excited. I'm going to keep you guys posted and let you know how that goes. So without further ado, this is episode number 5, and you guys know I'm all about saving your time and using your time wisely, so I try to get right to the meat and potatoes of what we've been talking about. And if you've been following the podcast, you know for the last 4 episodes, we've been talking about I love him, but he's lazy. I love him, but he's lazy. And we went over several different things throughout the course of those podcasts. And I gave you guys some principles from a book that I had introduced to you guys. We barely talk anymore. 10 principles to effective communication. And just to recap, because I want to make sure we're all on the same page. I'm not giving you guys all this information again, but I want to make sure that we're up to date on where we stood with I love him, but he's lazy, because tonight we have a special treat as we're transitioning to a woman's perspective with, obviously, you see my guest here. Well, if you don't know, this is my wife, She is the lady of Never Alone Christian Center, as we like to call it, NECC. But before we get to her, we covered 5 principles. I'm going to go through them real quick, okay? The first thing we said was effective communication is my responsibility. And we also said effective communication should build my relationship and not destroy it. And I want to stop right there. You cannot expect your man to do anything if you always dogging him out. He's going to lay on the couch. He's going to play those video games. He's going to ignore you, because you cannot expect him to do anything if you don't work on building a relationship. And as we have said, and we have been saying, this comes down to communication. We also said effective communication weakens when we ignore unhealthy patterns. And we said effective communication can be hindered by external influences. And we also said effective communication requires pillow talk. And you may be saying, well, I don't remember those. Well, you're going to have to go to the YouTube channel, go to the Anchor app or the Google Podcast platform, or just go to our website, catch up on those previous episodes so that you can get that information, okay? But tonight's agenda is a transition, or we're transitioning to instead of I love him and he's lazy, we're shifting to I love her, but she's lazy, okay? But she's lazy. So with that said, I want to introduce my wife, Miss Chiffon Wiley, the lady sitting to my left, and maybe you're right, depending on how you're watching this. And obviously, we are, as we have said earlier on, that we are the founders of Never Alone Christian Center, and this podcast is an extension of the Christian Center. And we are excited that we are almost 30 days away from our first virtual service, which is June the 6th. Just a little background. My wife and I, we've been married 14 years. We have 2 children, Kalia and Kenton. Kalia's 12 and Kenton will be 10 in another week or so. And we are excited to do what it is God has called us to do. And we have made it clear, and I continue to make it clear, that we want to be transparent. We want to be down to earth, and we want you guys to understand that faith is relevant to everyday life. And we're not looking for holy rollers. We're looking for people who are just willing to just try to learn what God is asking and do what it is God has asked us to do. So without further ado, my lovely wife, if you would like to say a few words, talk to the people. What you want to say.
Hey guys. Just want to say happy Friday. I hope you had a great work week thus far. If you are working tomorrow through the weekend, I hope that you continue to have a great work week. And let's just get it started.
All right. As she said, let's go. All right. So when we talk about I love her, but she's lazy, let me explain to you the background of how our family operates, okay? Now, we're definitely not the traditional household. It's not like my wife is cooks dinner and I come home from a long day on the job and I pull my little Tupperware out, no. Okay, listen, we are not the TV show that you see, okay? 99% of the time, I do the cooking, I do the cleaning, and that's just how it works for our family. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it that way, but for us, that's the way it has worked, and it works out. It's not that she doesn't know how to cook. Now, let's get this clear. She knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. She knows how to take care of the chores around the house. She's outstanding with the children. She understands and knows how to do all of that. But with the structure of our personal schedule, I have taken it upon myself because most of the time I'm home first to cook. I've taken it upon myself because most of the time on Saturdays when she's working, because if you don't know, she does hair. She's in the braid industry. She has her own business, Crown and Glory business. Okay, she does hair. That's my little plug, so she does hair. So she works on Saturday. So traditionally, that's when the house is clean or the yard work is done. So it's because the nature of our schedule that I take on a lot of the responsibilities. Now, could I not do it and it not get done? Yeah, that could happen. I could let the dishes pile up and I could lay on the couch and eventually she probably would say something or she would, tap in and help out.
I mean, at one point we did have a traditional family.
You're right.
I was a stay-at-home mom.
True.
And you did come home from work and your meals were prepared.
You're right. So when we first got married, she's right. I worked evening shift, and I got home late, or I went in the evening, and she was home. Yep. So she had to fix her own food because if she didn't, she would starve. Right. And she had to clean.
And I was home with the children.
And you were home with the children.
Yep.
So we did the stay home thing for a little while. So she did take up that role, but we have transitioned and I think this is where a lot of marriages get in trouble or relationships get in trouble because if that transition has to take place, a lot of times men don't like the transition, and they don't want to take it up. And then, or in tonight's episode, a lot of time women don't want to take up that role because they feel like, times have just changed. All right, so that's the background on our relationship and how we operate. But so I want to shift more to having my wife engage, okay? Because obviously I will do the talking, but this isn't about me. I have brought her on because I want you guys to hear it from a woman's perspective on how to handle for my men, how to handle your wife or your girlfriend if she's lazy. Okay, so Chiffon, how do you define or what is your perspective as a woman on being lazy?
I would say I would categorize you as lazy if you have the ability to do something or take care of something or handle something and you simply choose not to. Okay. For no reason. Okay, so you know how to cook, you know how to clean, but you simply just don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it, but you're capable.
Or don't want to learn how to do it.
Or you don't want to learn how to do it.
Because I am the queen of a recipe.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
If I can read it,
yeah, she can cook a recipe. She can follow it.
It's gonna get done,
and that's cool. And as a husband, I've never had a problem with that. If she can do a recipe, okay. So that's your perspective on being lazy, okay. So in the very first episode, if you missed it, go back and grab it. We talked about the statistics of where the shift took place in the household. Okay, over the last 50 years. Women have engaged into the workforce more than ever, okay? In a lot of cases, in a lot of industries, women are making more money than the man. And a lot of men have a problem with that, Okay? I've always told Chiffon, please go make millions of dollars.
So you can be a stay-at-home
dad.
So
I can be a stay-at-home dad. What you talking about? Why would I get upset? You know, but at the same time, we share a bank account, but that's a whole nother podcast, because we're not going to talk about all y'all relationships out there who still got separate bank accounts and been married for 20 years. Oh, he paid half the mortgage and half the car note, but
we won't talk about it.
That's not the purpose tonight. Man, not the purpose tonight. Because if she make $1 million and I make $1, we make $1,001. Okay, so the shift has taken place over the last 50 years where the housewife and the working man has dramatically changed. Okay, so I think as men we have to understand that when we're dealing with our wives, they are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week now.
Absolutely.
Okay, and women, you have to understand that your man is still picking up those 40 and 50 hours a week. You know, but as a man and you have a wife who's home and you're working or you're carrying the bulk of the load on that end, how do you approach her and say, oh, I've been at work all day and I come home, the floor dirty, the kids haven't eaten, the dishes in the sink. You know, what's up? How do I approach that without starting an argument? Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you feel that the woman or the wife role should still be centered around serving the home no matter how many hours she works?
I mean, I feel like that's true for anybody.
Okay.
Male or female. You should still serve your home in whatever capacity you guys agree that is your role.
Okay.
No matter how many hours you work.
So you're okay with defining roles? Do you think the man needs a chore? You think the man needs to put a chore list on the refrigerator for his wife?
No, I said we define the roles.
So
you're not going to give me a list, and I'm not going to give you a list.
Did y'all get that? Did you get that, brother? Okay. The woman has defined our role. Okay, so let's just go ahead. Whatever role she say you are.
No.
That's what you just said.
I said we define our role.
Okay. So what we're going back to what I told earlier. At some point, there has to be some communication.
It has to be communication.
Okay,
absolutely. If
the dishes the sink is full, the grass growing up to the windowsill, the shutters falling off the house. All these type of things are happening, and you come home, but you got all the Jordans, you got the latest watch, you got all the brand stuff, and you got your PlayStation 4 or 5, whatever the latest one is, and you playing games, but your house looks trash, and then you wonder why she upset.
Absolutely.
You know, or he comes home, you got your nails done, your eyebrows done. You got your teeth clean. You got all the fancy clothes. You got on your nice perfume. You know, but ain't one pot in the sink because ain't nothing been cooked. But you want him to be okay with that.
Sitting on the couch looking real pretty.
See, there are a lot of pretty women sitting on couches with a lot of upset men going to bed at night. Okay, so what you're saying is the roles or the responsibilities of the household have to be discussed at some point.
They have to be discussed, or again, we're not traditional. So because he's a servant, I can be lazy.
Not lazy.
No. I'm saying I can be you because of how much you do. You can make me lazy.
That's true.
Because
sometimes you can overserve. You can listen, men. Now, because what you will learn about me, I'm going to teach you how to serve your wife. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to serve your family and how to serve your children. That's one thing I'm going to teach you how to do. Okay, but what you can do is you can overserve, and I know that may not be biblically correct, but you can overserve your family, overserve your children, overserve your wife to the point where they don't do anything. So when you come home and that rare time say, you know what, I'm tired.
You created
they're like, monster. What? You can't be tired.
No.
You're not allowed to be tired. Correct. And then they get accustomed to my children now, they are my son now that he's really into basketball. Every day when I pick him up from school, Dad, can we play a game? Dad, can we play a game? And I can say I'm tired. He'd be like, well, can we just play one game? Because he is accustomed to Dad, being a cyborg, basically, and not being tired, but I created that sometimes to my own fault.
Yes.
So sometimes men, and I know you don't want to hear this, we have made our wives lazy.
Correct.
We have overserved them, and now they're lazy. Now, if you want to keep that routine up, then you can't get mad and say I love her, but she's lazy. You can't call her lazy if you created that atmosphere. It's just like we learned when we were in premarital. You don't start something you can't keep up. If she get her feet done, her eyes done, or whatever cosmetic stuff women do, if she do all of that before you got married,
yes.
You can't get married and find out them eyelashes cause what? Them nails cause who? And how often you gotta go? You ask those questions now. All right. So let's get to this. Okay. Now, do you or would you as a wife or as a woman for that matter feel disrespected if your husband approached you and said, "Girl, you lazy"?
Is that exactly what you're saying? Are those your specific words?
Well, yeah, so, we gotta add some.
I need clarity.
We gotta add some fluff.
That's the key. That's the key. You can't just come out. See, this is how women are. You can't just come out and tell us it's blue.
Okay.
You have to make us figure out that it's blue.
Okay. So
don't come home talk about you ain't washed the clothes today. You been home all day.
Okay. So the approach is important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Women are life givers. Whatever you give to us, we're going to multiply it 50,000 times over, and we're going to give it back. No. So you come and talk about, so the clothes ain't done? No, the clothes ain't done, and the clothes won't be done until you do them.
Exactly. See? And man, we can't take all that. Listen to me. Don't listen, brothers. We have to change our approach.
Absolutely.
Okay? If we don't change our approach, nothing's going to get done. Now, just a sidebar. Now, I said this in the earlier podcast. Now, if you got bank or you got the bag, pay somebody because maybe you busy. If you that busy
or
that
don't want to do it,
now I'm not trying to create no monsters here and try to make you make all type of sacrifice. Now don't be snatching your kids out of school because they in private school because you want to pay for a nanny.
No.
And women don't be hiring some nanny who gonna be dressed in half naked tempting your husband. Nobody should be cleaning the house with unless either both of y'all are home or neither one of y'all are home. Then that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But that's the sidebar. But for us regular blue collar working people,
right? Yeah,
we got to clean our house. Sorry,
absolutely.
I'm saying so you wouldn't feel disrespected if your husband or your boyfriend approached you and said you're lazy, but
I would,
or you would feel disrespected if they didn't approach you properly.
Correct.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question: how can we, as men, husbands, boyfriends, or whatever your state may be, because this is like Planet Fitness. This is the judgment-free zone. Judgment-free zone. Listen. So, how can we approach our wives if they're lazy? What is the proper approach? Does it have to be a candlelight dinner?
No, well,
by the fireplace, rubbing your feet.
You can't ask me that because
baby, these your feet are so smooth, but them dishes, girl, them dishes, they just piled up. If there's something we can do about them dishes, the kids went to school today. Them shirts were mad wrinkled. You know what I mean? It's possible you can, do a little press or something now. How do we do this? How do we approach?
You have to know your woman, wife, girlfriend. You have to know how they are.
Okay.
Because some of us will respond if we feel like you're all of a sudden doing everything. And I've been in that position where I've been exhausted, yet I've had a day off, and it didn't feel like a day off. And you've come in, you've emptied the dishwasher, you put the dishes in the dishwasher, then I hear you starting the laundry, then I hear you asking the kids, did y'all finish all your homework? And then I'm like, I should have done something then I want to get up and do something.
Mm-hmm. So you feel bad, but you don't respond.
No, I know, but I mean at that point you've done everything, and then I might come upstairs and be like, oh man,
Okay,
I should have. Now that's not going to work on everybody because
true.
everybody's not going to feel that guilt.
Okay.
Another approach could be,
but be honest though. Okay, wives, listen. Be honest. You know if your man is tired. Okay,
but do they care?
Well, that's a whole nother problem.
I'm just saying.
We said you love him, but or you love her, but she's lazy.
Yes, you can love her and she can just be lazy. Okay. Now it's different if she has lazy moments or if she's just flat out lazy.
That's good. So she's lazy. She lazy Monday and Tuesday. But
because
Wednesday through Sunday,
she's worked Saturday, Sunday. Maybe she's lazy Monday, Tuesday,
okay,
and then Wednesday she gets her little gusto going and she's ready.
Okay.
So you really have to, before you say anything. Now, if it's a pattern that's been building, then you absolutely need to speak on it.
Okay.
Sometimes the guilt approach will work.
That's one of the principles. You can't ignore unhealthy patterns.
Right.
People, that's one of the principles.
Look at me tapping in.
You see, we ignore those unhealthy patterns.
Right.
And then we let them roll.
So the guilt approach could almost work, but if it doesn't work, you can't be mad. So
that's true.
You can't be mad. But also, if you're going to approach her verbally, approach her as a, what can we do? Mm-hmm. Say, hon, I know you.
We is key. Yeah. I always use we.
Absolutely. Not me, not you, not I.
We. We always work together.
It's always a we. So, come home. You see the dishes aren't done. I'm just going to say dishes because when we walk in our house, it's the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So you see the dishes aren't done. You'd be like, I don't even know. How would you say that?
I don't know. That's the problem.
What you've said, what you've asked me before is, you didn't get a chance to do the dishes today?
Well, yeah.
And sometimes I've honestly been like, I didn't even know there were dishes in the dishwasher.
Yeah, but that's because
it's that Jedi mind situation.
I know my wife.
You have to know.
You gotta know.
Because you can say that to the wrong person, and she could be like, "Who said I was emptying the dishwasher?"
Exactly. So it's like
with the head.
It's like because we engage and we talk. I know how to say something without saying it. I could be, if I come home from work and she's home, maybe her day off, I could be like, "Hon, the dishes clean?" I know they clean because I started them
this morning.
I started them before I went to work. I know they clean. And I'd be like, "Hon, the dishes clean?" She'd be like, "Oh, the dishes was clean." I'd be like, "Yeah, they was clean." I think I started them, but she'd be like, "I didn't know they was clean." But what I did was I dropped that little bug there. So believe it or not, next time around, when she's home on Monday, she may check the dishwasher and say they clean. Mm-hmm. And then I'll come home.
Which actually happened.
Which has happened.
And you came home to empty the dishwasher.
And I was like, "Oh, dishwasher." And then I'm like, "Look at that. Boy, I'm out there. I'm out here. You heard me." So.
But it goes back to knowing your spouse.
Yeah, you got it.
Which is a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole, we could spend a month on do you know her?
Do you know your spouse?
Do you know her? I'm saying we know our spouses in areas. Yeah. We know what they like. Mm-hmm. We know how they like to dress. We know where they like to travel. Mm-hmm. We know their favorite color. We all those other nuances. We know those little things. But we don't know
That's not going to do anything for the inside of the house.
We don't know the fabric of the relationship though.
Nothing.
We don't know the fabric. So
and if it becomes a continuous pattern, what you really can do is sit down with her and say, "Okay, I know you work a lot, I work a lot, you work hard, I work hard. Let's come up with a plan to keep the house flowing perfectly, to keep the house flowing. Even when I switched to working for myself and you went to your new work schedule, we ended up switching who drops off the kids and who picks them up. Yeah. It's always a conversation.
Yeah, we have to.
It's always a converation. Now it's like, okay, I'm dropping the kids off now at school. Now you have to pick them up.
Yep. So it's life. Yeah. And that's when we talk about faith being transparent. You think this is just a podcast? This is all rooted in faith, and the faith is all about communication.
Absolutely,
it's all about being able to talk. I don't understand how I can sleep with my wife, I can buy her nice things, we can travel all over the world, but I can't have a conversation about why the laundry ain't done.
Distractions to keep you from the real thing.
Well, I'm saying
y'all can go have fun.
Well, see, fun is fantasy. Real life happens when you come home, and me personally, I can't live. I could be overboard. Some might say I could be a bit OCD. I haven't been. clinically tested for that, but many
If
may
anyone's
say,
out there listening.
many may say that I could potentially be OCD. But listen, the same conversation with I love him, but he's lazy. I love her, but she's lazy. It all comes down to this term here, communication. And it's unfortunate. As many couples I talk to, I'm amazed at how many couples don't talk.
Yeah.
I am shocked. What do you mean you didn't? What do you mean
We talk all day, every day.
What do you mean you bought a car and you ain't talk to your wife?
How you
Say
do
who?
that? How you do that?
Oh, that's right. They got separate bank accounts.
Oh.
It's tough. Okay. So let's go here. Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think COVID-19, the coronavirus,
You didn't.
the coronavirus is for real? Do you think the COVID-19, and bless all those souls who have passed from it, seriously, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it has affected marriages and relationships? And if so, why?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely. We've been in, what has it been, over a year?
Definitely
You
been
were
over a year.
literally stuck in the house with your spouse. And you know what I learned in this year? I really like my family. People were saying how they needed to get out the house. I'm sick of these kids. I was like, I am absolutely fine.
The divorce rate went up tremendously.
Absolutely. And it makes you were stuck in the house with this person. You couldn't sneak off and see your side piece. You were in the I'm just saying, you couldn't sneak off and see your side piece.
Ain't no side booze.
You couldn't we were in a shutdown situation, a stay-at-home order, at least here in Maryland.
Yeah.
We were at a stay-at-home order. You couldn't sneak off. You couldn't go have a drink with the boys. You couldn't say, I'm going out with the boys, I'm going out with the girls, to escape your spouse. You were literally stuck there. And some marriages didn't survive. And some relationships didn't survive. You start to really see who people are. How many times were they in your phone and you haven't seen? Were they just friends with you because of convenience? Because I see you every day.
Yeah.
How many people have you not heard from since the pandemic started?
Yeah. Right. That's tough. So I know guys went fast, but our time is up. It's up. But look, you already know I'm going to bring it back.
I mean,
we're going to bring it back. Don't worry. But my final thought here is this. One, communication obviously is everything. Okay? So, and you say, well, I just don't know how to, when we talk, we just fuss and argue, we got problems. Listen, drop me a D. If you want to talk about it, my wife and I will talk to you. Okay? Now, we don't know everything. But if you want to talk, drop us a DM on our social media at NAC Media on Instagram, or hit us a messenger on Facebook. At NAC Media, or just search Never Alone Christian Center, or go to the website. It's right here at the bottom. Go to the website, and the email is there, info at neveralonecc.org. And drop us an email, be like, yo, my wife and I, my spouse and I, my boyfriend and I, whatever status you in, we can't get this communication thing down. Okay? Because
I think we have it down.
Pretty good. That's definitely one of our strong suits.
Yeah.
Definitely one of our strong suits.
Pretty good at it.
Okay. But my final thought here, listen, if we continue to allow it to occur, it will never change. That's the bottom line. If you allow laziness from the male or female to continue to occur, it's never going to change. Have a good weekend.